over in low-educated areas. Oh, did he whack me? I can't believe he did that. He said, what? So yeah, but you got to practice and learn, and then there's no reason to practice and learn on a modus or a genus. It just isn't going to be there. All right, now here's a lab scope. Good or bad? Give me your opinion quickly, please. Good? Okay, this is a democratic state. Good? Give me good. Give me good. Everybody give me good. Raise your hand if you're going to think it's good. How many people think it's okay? Give me an okay. Give me an okay. How many people think there's something wrong with it? I like the fact that people are questioning the waveform. That's what we're supposed to do. That's why we went to the trouble to get it. Right? A little hairy. It's okay. Yeah, I will guarantee that hairiness is involved in something with the ground. If you really want to see all this hair, this noise, electrical noise all over, start switching your ground. Start at the battery ground, and then it gets all El Funko. I know, I'm bilingual. And then what happens is when you start getting a cleaner and cleaner ground on your digital storage scope, you're going to clean up your noise. So you want to ground it where? As close to your oxygen sensor signal as you can. You want, when you're going to use a digital storage scope, you want to connect the storage scope's ground to as close to the oxygen sensor as you can, assuming I don't have to bend over or burn myself. So apparently I had to bend over or burn myself to get a really clean signal. All right? But I'm not bothered with the noise. I'm bothered with the fact I don't see 0.8 at least. I'm bothered. Okay, we'll talk about 9. I'm bothered that I don't see 0.2 or below. When I see a normal working oxygen sensor, if it's between 0.2 and 0.8, I'm a happy camper with this thing. I know there's probably very little wrong with this car. Is there any car that's perfect? Okay, so that's why the disclaimer, very little. Now, in this oxygen sensor, if you had this on your car, the bay tomorrow, you got it on a bay tomorrow, in your bay tomorrow, what would you do? You know what you do. Say it. You'd tweak the throttle. You'd rev it up a little bit. Some of us would go, we'd hit rev limiter. We'd hit rev limiter in a service bay. Because apparently we wanted this computer to go into a default. When you hit rev limiter for about 3 minutes afterward, the computer is not in normal working mode. It's in some type of default. Yeah, you just screwed the pooch. Just screwed the pooch. Don't be hitting rev limiter unless you absolutely want to test rev limiter. So if I play with the throttle, I want to see 0.9 or above. And then I go and let it close. I want to see 0.1 or below. If I can't do that, then I got to puff in some propane to see if it'll go to 0.9 or above. I got to create a vacuum leak. The oxygen sensor at the minimum has to read 900 millivolts. At the minimum has to go lean on 100 millivolt side. Has to. All right? Now, yeah, we know they go from 0 to 1, and that's all theoretical fine stuff. But diagnostically, we don't care. This is an oxygen sensor that's made with zirconia dioxide. This oxygen sensor here has no input into the computer, no feedback to the computer at over, what, 14.2 to 1? Under at 11.3 to 1? That's why they call it a narrow band oxygen sensor. So the fact that it'll go to 9, that's good enough. The fact that it'll go to 1 means, okay, it went to 1. Then you can do this. Went to 1. It's a narrow band oxygen sensor. We didn't know how bad they were until somebody came out with a wide band and taught us about that, right? And that's why they don't even call them narrow band. They're embarrassed. So here, diagnostic test mode 5 will tell me a lot of things. Sometimes it's in 6, most of the times it's in 6. Time to activity, that's the heater, you know that. Ratio of maximum switching times. Now, how many times did you want to know that? Oh, okay, what is it? Holy crap, mode 6 test stuff, we don't even know what it is. What would you do if it failed? I was hoping one of you guys knew. Rich to lean threshold. I think I know what that is. The opposite. Low voltage for switch time calculate. That sounds confusing. High voltage. Oh, I know what that is. That's the opposite of that. You know, this is mode 5/6. Rich to lean switch time calculations. Lean to rich switch times calculate. Half cycle count. Oh, half cycle. I don't know if I could live if I didn't know what the half cycle was. Right? So big slope. Oh, the big slope. This is apparently a Western oxygen sensor out in Idaho somewhere. All right, look at these things that this mode 5/6 test for. Rich volt test, I can do that. I got one. Right? Can't we test oxygen sensors, see if they go rich enough? Isn't that what we were just talking about? Yeah. Oh, lean volt, we can do that one. We can do that one. Switch. Oh, shoot, here it comes again. Switch ratio test. Amplitude test. I know that in electronic talk, these are the same. Okay, switching thing. 19 different tests or more. This computer tests the crap out of this oxygen sensor. I want to entertain something to you, then we're going to have to go on break or I'll be talked about. I want to entertain to you. If you're not using mode 6, don't hesitate another moment. Start using it the first thing on the first car you get. So we're rocking and rolling. The speed of the oxygen sensor is how fast it goes from rich to lean or lean to rich. The reaction time is how fast it goes and turns around and it switches. Now, we can look at that. We can look at speed, but we can't look at speed this way, but we can look at speed in another way. We'll show you that in a second. Reaction time. Does this reaction time kind of look symmetrical? Yeah, it all looks the same. And it kind of looks normal if you're using a digital storage scope and you have a 1 second sweep rate. If you're using a 1 second sweep rate, whatever, if you're using a 500 millisecond like Delco teaches, it's going to look different. Your switch times are going to look faster. All right. So this is a brand new car. This is a brand new car and a brand new oxygen sensor. And does it go rich enough? Does it go lean enough? Switch ratio is you're going to compare it to another sensor. And heater operation is timed activity. So we can do some things. Just make sure that your fuel trim is within somewhat normal working ranges before you go testing your oxygen sensor. You don't want the oxygen sensor to be shifted rich, bias rich, shifted lean, bias lean. You really want long-term fuel trims to be somewhat normal to test an oxygen sensor. Now here's how you test for the speed of an oxygen sensor. You watch it do its switch cycle, and somewhere as it's halfway down you whack the throttle. By the time the fuel gets burned and exhausted, the oxygen sensor sees it. It should respond instantly to the rich condition, lack of oxygen condition. So how fast is it? Can you see the graticule going up the side of it? That's how fast it is. Now, this is actually a waveform from 1988 when I first started doing oxygen sensor waveform analysis. Some people have fudged it since then. They said, oh, as long as it's fast enough within 1/10. No, bull, cockapoo. They got to be instantly, and the newer the car is, the faster it has to be. So that's what slowness does. If this oxygen sensor, when it sees a rich condition, goes up and it ends up over here somewhere instead of where it should be straight up, that means the computer didn't see the results of its enrichment fast enough, so it made it richer, causing the vehicle to run too rich. Fast enough is instantaneous. Anything else is somebody made up who didn't do the research. Questions on that? All right, you can do the rear oxygen sensor also. We know that if we look at the rear oxygen sensor, kind of hangs out flat, and it can be lean or it can be rich. It doesn't really matter where it's at. It can be flat. When compared to the front oxygen sensor, it looks flat. It is flat, and that means it's working the way it's supposed to. If you whack the throttle, is it fast enough? Does it go straight up? The only difference in the oxygen rear and front is not when it goes and sees a rich condition. It's when it sees a lean condition. The rear oxygen sensor has a delayed reaction to the front oxygen sensor. I'm going to tell you this, and please use it correctly. I am saying General Motors and General Motors only. The longer the delay time is, the higher the catalytic efficiency. Now, if you look at a Chrysler, and Chryslers kind of react like this. If this was a Chrysler, the front oxygen sensor sees the end of the rich condition or sees the lean condition, and it responds. And Chrysler walks way out here with their rear, up to like 1.7879 seconds later. That doesn't mean it's got a good catalytic converter. It means it's a Chrysler, whatever they're doing. Apparently they use zirconia dioxide from Jersey. I don't know. They're not getting it where the other guys are getting it. So, fuel control, the oxygen sensor's got to be within normal working parameters, which means that the fuel system is in good control. The computer is capable of correcting any fuel issues. The oxygen sensor reacts to, do not screw this up. I know you've heard it probably 50 times. You're going to hear 51. The oxygen sensor reacts to the oxygen in the exhaust gas. The oxygen sensor drives short-term fuel trim. Short-term fuel trim reacts to the oxygen sensor. Short-term fuel trim drives the long-term fuel trim. Long-term fuel trim reacts to the short-term fuel trim. You've heard it 50, 60 times. Do not forget that. It's got to be right here when you're diagnosing rich and lean conditions. What does what? When you're diagnosing, aren't you looking for someone to blame? Something to blame? Right? Ah! You're out of here. Bob, called no auto parts available, commonly referred to as Napa. Hey, yeah, that works. They don't have it, but where's it at? They don't have any parts at Napa Auto Parts, but where's it at? It's at the warehouse, and we can have it for you tomorrow. Okay, same Napa we got in Indiana. There we go, in Indiana. Yeah. So we're looking for something to change, whack with a hammer, do something to, straighten out, bend. We're looking for somebody to blame. And if you forget that order, you're going to change the wrong part. All right? So the oxygen sensors can only be normal if you have good fuel control. Damn, are we sure that's right? Because I know for a fact fuel control will only be good if the oxygen sensors are good. Which way is it? Gentlemen, it's both ways. You can't have good fuel control without good oxygen sensors. You can't have good oxygen sensor signals with bad fuel control. If you're running rich, the oxygen sensor isn't going to have a good signal. It's going to be rich. Right? So, what do you do? I mean, how do you differentiate these two? Can you absolutely, positively test long-term fuel trim? Don't pretend. No pretending just because you went on break. The rules stay the same. Yeah, oh, I could do some stuff and know some stuff when I'm done, but that's not what I asked you. Can you absolutely test long? No. Can you absolutely test oxygen sensors? Yes. So test the one you can add. Don't pretend. Do the one you know you can do. Does it go rich enough? Does it go lean enough? Is it fast enough? Rich enough is 0.9 or above. Lean enough is 0.1 or below. Fast enough is instantaneous. All right? Yeah, don't. If you got bad fuel control, test an oxygen sensor. It only makes sense in the world. All right? And don't forget, we're going to add the modifiers in a minute. Don't forget all the modifiers. Sense, short term, is driven or reacts to oxygen sensor is dependent upon them being good. Since long term is driven or reacts to short term, we got to have short term correct. What's long term got to have to be correct?
Short sensor. Oh yeah, good O2.
They're pretending.
It says computer.
What?
Computer further on the page.
Oh, okay, and I accept that, Chris. I accept that 100%. You know, if short term's got to have a good oxygen sensor,